Hey, what's going on, guys? Brian from Zombie Guitar here. This lesson is going to be about melodic metal and basically how to get that type of sound. So that cover in the beginning was by a band called In Flames, one of my favorite metal bands of all time. The name of the song is Jester's Script Transfigured. It's kind of a weird name, but that's the name of the song. Great song, great band. So yeah, that's what this lesson is going to be about, how to get that like melodic type of sound. Iron Maiden, old Black Sabbath, stuff like that. So real quick, if you haven't already checked out the newly and improved Zombie Guitar, definitely take a look. It just went live on March 1st of this year, which was just about 2 weeks ago, and the site is completely revised. Navigation is significantly improved. Everyone that uses the site is very happy with the changes, so I think you might like it too. Take a look, zombieguitar.com. Alright, so this isn't a requirement to play melodic metal. You don't have to tune down your guitar, but this band, they happen to tune their guitar down by one full step. So it's still in standard tuning. All the chord shapes are the same and everything, but all the strings are just tuned down by one whole step. So your lowest string is going to be a D, and then this is going to be a G, and then this becomes a C, and then this becomes an F, this is an A, and this is a D. Alright, so all your chord shapes are still going to be the same. Alright, it's just a lower tuning. And my electric is actually, I kept that in standard because I didn't want to tune that down. So if you're trying to watch what I was playing in the beginning and it wasn't lining up with the tabs, that's because I played, the electric part in standard. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. So the first thing you always want to do is you always want to look at the chord progression or write a chord progression that's in a key, and you want to understand how to do that. So this chord progression that is taking place over this entire solo was in the key of A minor. So you use your circle of fifths, you find your 6 diatonic chords grouped together like so, and those are all the chords that are part of the key of A minor. You could also call this the key of C major, but because the chord progression started on an A minor chord, and then it looped around, and A minor was like the tonal center. That's why it's A minor, not C major. So the chord progression actually uses all 6 of these chords. It goes like this: A minor to a G major, to an E minor, to an F major, then F major again, to a D minor, to a C major, to a G major. So it's actually in 3/4 timing. So it's 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So it's all right. So it uses all 6 of the chords from the key of A minor. So once you know your key, the next thing is to determine what your key scale is. So we're in the key of A minor, therefore you're going to use the A minor scale, or the A natural minor scale. And everything is done in just using this one pattern. It's a 3-note per string pattern. You locate this pattern by finding your root note on the A string with your pinky. So find the note A, that's your scale root right there, 12th fret. And this is your 3-note per string scale pattern. But all these other notes that are around it are also part of this particular pattern. So So this is the scale pattern that this whole entire solo takes place in, and so as long as you're playing only notes from the key scale, which in this case is A minor, everything is going to sound good. It's going to sound melodic, but that's only the first layer. So once you know what your key is, and then you know what your key scale is, and you have a pattern or a particular area on the fretboard that you want to play your melodic solo in, the next thing you want to do is realize where the chord shapes are within that particular pattern. So we were using this 3-note per string pattern right up here, and so you want to know where your A minor chord shape is within this pattern. You want to know where your G major chord shape is, your E minor, your F major, your D minor, and your C major. So let's look at this. If you want to really know how to find these shapes, definitely take a look at my lesson on caged. So these are all just basically caged shapes or basic arpeggio shapes, all of which I talk about in that lesson. I'll post a link to that below. So here's your A minor chord shape within this pattern. You have all right, so that's A minor. And then it moves to the G major chord, so you have a G major chord in this shape. And then it moves to an E minor, so you have an E minor that's in this shape here. So that's that E minor chord, and then it has an F major. F major is found in this shape here. So that's your F major. And then you have a D minor chord, which is found here. And then you have the last one is a C major chord. So C major chord is found in this shape, in the D shape. All right, so again, take a look at that lesson on caged. I go into a lot more detail. It's about a 45-minute long lesson. So if you really want to know how to quickly find caged shapes in any area on the fretboard, definitely take a look at that lesson. So once you know your key scale, which in this case is A minor, and then you know the spot on the fretboard that you're going to be playing, and you know the chord shapes of the chord progression, within that spot that you're playing in, then it all just comes down to chord tone targeting. So if you've been on my website, you know that I really talk about this a lot. I have tons and tons of lessons, tons of material specifically to teach you about this concept, chord tone targeting. That is the whole entire thing here. That is the big secret behind melodic anything. Chord tone targeting. So as I said, the rhythm of this song is 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So the solo basically follows 1 2 3 chord tone target, 1 2 3 chord tone, 1 2 3 chord tone, one. So it's a little bit more complicated than that. Some of the runs, but if you really think about it, it kind of breaks down to a 1 2 3 chord tone, 1 2 3 chord tone. And the chord tones are all just part of those chord shapes that we just talked about in the last section. So understanding that, I'm just going to quickly walk you through the whole solo. I'm going to have the chords on the screen. I'm going to have the fretboard diagram on the screen, and the chord shapes are going to light up as the chords are changing, and I'm going to circle the exact note that is being targeted. So I guess that's the best way to try and get this concept across. So again, the chord progression is. So that's the acoustic part, and then the electric part is, basically following the same idea. Just targeting chord tones, just plays stuff slightly differently. So let's take a look at that part. I'm just going to play it on this acoustic since this isn't the correct tuning. My electric is not. So I'm just going to play it on here. So here is this part. up to here. All right, so again, I just kind of quickly went through that solo because I don't really want you to just learn solos by the tabs, even though I'm giving you the tabs in this lesson. I want people to understand how to target chord tones so you can figure this stuff out for yourself. I figured this solo out by ear in, maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying because I know what the scale pattern is and I know where the available chord shapes are and I know what the concept is. You can figure this stuff out really quickly and you don't need to rely on tabs. So that's chord tone targeting. That is the secret behind melodic metal. It is the secret behind melodic anything. If you are interested in that kind of stuff, definitely check out Zombie Guitar. I teach lots of that stuff on the site. That's going to do it for this lesson. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next time.